In this course, we're going to make great designs that you would love to have or create with your mobile phone. We're going to be using the Canva application for our design, and I hope that you're going to really learn a lot from this. This is the Canva application we're going to be using today. You can find Canva on your Play Store for free. You could just browse Canva and you can see mine. You can always download or install. So we head into Canva. Once in Canva, you can look through the various designs one could create. Moving across this way and moving down this way as well, you could see lots of beautiful templates you could use for your designs. You could see mobile video, Instagram posts, logos, stories, photo collages. You could design, you could use the templates of the Facebook post, the posters, the flyer, and the rest of that. And as you go down this way too, you can see mobile video, Instagram posts, and the rest, logos, and the rest. So right here, you can also go into the search box. The search box is just above here. You could go in and type in a particular kind of design you might need, or a template that concerns certain topics. You could come in here and type Instagram, and you would find lots of designs related to Instagram. You could pick up any, paid or free, and edit them perfectly into the desired design. Every single template in Canva consists of vectors, and the vectors are very easily editable. You can edit every single item of a vector design. So let's go in here and search for vacation. We just want a flyer or a template related to vacation. Right here, you could see lots of templates related to vacation, holiday, and travel. These are all beautiful designs. You could decide to edit any one of them, but I think I'm attracted to one we just passed. I find this very attractive, so let's edit that. As I said, every single item in Canva is completely editable. I want you to note that across these designs, you could find some watermarked items. You see Canva, that's a watermarked image. This is a watermarked image. This is a watermarked image. This button has a watermarked background, and this as well as this. They all have watermarked backgrounds. For Canva, every item that is watermarked is completely unusable for someone on a free account. But you have lots of items, lots of designs, lots of designs that are not watermarked. But some premium designs you might want to use, unfortunately, are watermarked. There's a way around this. You could go into the desired template you need to use and then edit every single item that is watermarked, adding in very beautiful replacements for them with just a click. And I want you to also note that apart from the bold designs that are watermarked, you can also note that a few other items are watermarked. These dots, as I zoom in, you can see that they're actually watermarked. That might not be easy for you to see, but you can see this has a tiny write-up within it is watermarked. This is also watermarked. Like those dots are watermarked. Also, I want you to take note of these dots as well, which are also watermarked. You can see the tiny write-up of Canva going through it. You can also see that these beautiful curved dots also have these lines of watermark. These also have these lines that show that they are watermarked. So in order to escape the watermarks, you could totally replace these designs while you're designing. We might start with this big image here. We click on it and click on replace. When you want to add a new design or when you want to add a new item, you could use plus sign here, or you could use the replace sign here. Let's click on replace in order to replace the highlighted item. Replace. Right now we need to search for an image in photos, and we could go in here and search for maybe you search for mountains, seas, vacation, or any items you might want. You could see on my search for vacation, you could see free images and pro images. The pro images are paid images, while the free images are free for you to use. Most times when you have not yet searched through the search bar, you would have most of these images for free. There's sometimes when you search and most of the options you get are totally free, while the others are paid items. Let's come out here and search for mountains. You could actually search for any sort of thing: seas, mountains, landscape, and you're going to see lots of beautiful suggestions, just as you've seen. You could also go about to search for sea, maybe river, oceans, and I bet you will find very beautiful resources for your design right here that are both free and paid. Okay, so based on our search, let's go back and click on replace once again. Let's cancel out this and allow Canva to give us suggestions based on our search results, our search items. When you try to search, Canva automatically places recommendations for you based on your items of search. You could see recently used items, but then you could see magic recommendations, and you could click on see all. You could click on see all in order to see any of these designs while designing, any of these suggestions, or any of these items entirely. While you could also have the trending aspect of it. Trending shows you trending photos, trending designs you could employ while designing. Right here, we're just going to go for this to replace our watermarked item. Now that our watermark item is replaced, we could also go in here and replace that image with another image. We could use one of our trending images to replace this. You could also go in here and while I tried to click on the image, I instead clicked on a different design which is watermarked. Well, we could get lines, shapes as well into our design, but first of all, I just want to remove these lines that are watermarked. In order to replace this, now you can click on replace. You could pick this for that. I want to let you know you could double click or tap twice into a design, into an image, and increase the size or decrease the size or center it as you please. You could come here and click on replace as well and replace that with this nice scenery. Double click and we could shift this, make it look as we please. Now we could leave it as it is. Coming to the next point to be edited, you could use we could click on these and delete these buttons with the watermark on it. But first, let's click here and see if we're going to change this color in order to make that white visible after deletion. Let's make it red. We change them to red, and you see the change all sign. You could click on change all and get to change all white items at the same time into, or most white items into, the new color. In order to undo, we could go up here and click undo. This is redo. You could click on download once your design is done, or you could click on export once your designs are done with. Now I want to undo the color change I've just made. I click on undo to undo it, to undo the last set. Now I want to go ahead and click on this and change the color to red as well. I want to increase the font sizes of these items before I delete their backgrounds as well, to just make them more readable. So I go ahead and click on font size. I think I want that to be 14. I click on this as well and make it 14. I click on this as well and click on font size to make it 14. Now we could go ahead to delete the backgrounds. In order to replace backgrounds, I can add new elements by clicking on the plus sign, and I could search for buttons. And I want to indicate that under elements, so I go back, I click on elements to change the whole view of what I'm going to receive when I search for buttons. Now go back in and search for buttons. Under elements, you see the addition of new options for our search, which means that the highlight of your search, by highlight of your search, I mean these options. So I clicked on elements while I'm searching, and because I'm on elements as my highlight when I search for buttons, I can now see new options or new kinds of buttons popping up here and here. I want to click this, I drag it down here, I click on the color, I make it white, or I could make it blue. Reduce the size of the button. You could drag it down to place it properly. I want you to observe that as I drag this button, some dotted lines show up. These dotted lines can help guide you in aligning elements as you do. Another way of shifting or adjusting elements is to go to nudge. It creates an easy way of you aligning all your elements. You could nudge them up, down, side, or center. We want to duplicate this same image, the button image right now, so we go over to the option of duplicate. As we've duplicated this, we can drag it to the side, following the guiding lines, make it centered to the page, and make it aligned. if you cannot do this with a perfect hand, you can go back to the nudge tool and nudge left, nudge right, as well as follow the guiding lines that flash. Now let's click on position and take this backwards. You could at this point duplicate this and click on position to take it backwards. You can notice that when I clicked on the duplicate for the third time, it used its algorithm, the Canva algorithm, to place it directly according to the previously preferred placement. Take this destination and try to align it. Take that button and try to align it to the other buttons. Take it to the left, and we could nudge it down or nudge it up till it flashes a line that shows it's perfectly aligned. Right now we can change back these texts to color white, and we could say change all to white. Now we have one more previously noted element with the watermark left here. We have to delete this in order to be able to go on. Okay, we actually have two. Let me show you what this does. I want you to note that one of the elements we said was watermarked is still here, and with that we cannot have a free design. Let me show you. When you click on export right now, and the options come out for you to download, you can click on download. But instead of giving us a download button instead of giving us a free download button, it says download with Canva Pro, and it says you have to upgrade to be able to download. And all of these restrictions is because of the watermarked item that is in our design, which means you can take a paid design, a pro design from Canva, and totally edit it and convert it to a free design. Right now I want to add our new dots, but before that I have to click on these dots. I have to zoom in, click on these dots and delete. Now click on the plus icon and let's cancel out buttons, our previous search, and search for dots. Click on this option of dots. You see the black colored dots that appeared. I want to change this to white, and I want to click at the edge of these designs. Sometimes you click on this edge and it doesn't easily fold in or go in. You can do something about that. Let's see what to do. So I try to drag these in, but it doesn't drag in. I try to drag them in, it doesn't drag in. Let me zoom in so I can click into it, and once I click into these dots, once I click into these dots, I try to shift it this time and it adjusts. So I can click in once again, double click in, and I move it, and you see those inner lines adjusting. And when you're done with your adjustments, you can click out. Right now I go to my nudge tool and I try to nudge to the right or to the left and see which settles in perfectly or aligns perfectly. I can also double click into that design once again and drag. Okay, I double click and I drag this to this end. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Right now I go back to my nudge tool to try to align this perfectly till it gives me a center flash showing me I have done a good centering. I could click on these dots and duplicate this, drag it down to this point. It shows it's perfectly aligned to the previous dot, so I can change the color back again to the desired color of my design. I could click on the dots if I'm not satisfied with the placements. I could click on any aspects that I'm not satisfied and adjust them appropriately. So click on the dots, go to nudge it up to a desired point and click out. The next point, I want to say explore Nigeria or explore Niger. So I could say explore Nigeria, and I drag this way and I shrink this by holding to the edges. When you want to shrink it, you could hold onto the edges here and make sure to drag it out or in as desired. Explore Nigeria. I want to add a 7-day exploring tour vacation. You can say 7 days of exploration, 8 days of stay, and we could change this to pay 50,000 naira. I drag this out. That's good. In order to click on the currency, in order to click on the currency, I might need to tap on that. I actually, while trying to zoom in, shifted one image. So what I did was I quickly clicked on the undo, and the undo button helped me get it back into place. Right now, I click into the currency. I put an N, Naira. I really wish the Nigerian currency was on this keyboard. I would have just put that perfectly. But let me just put a hash perhaps. So pay 50 of your currency, whichever currency that is, 50 of that currency, 50,000 of that currency, in order to go on this vacation. Now for booking, contact us. For bookings, let's just go in and click on that font size and edit it into, let's make it 14, size 14. And now, because it broke into 2 lines, I have to click on it and I have to click on the handle here and drag it to expand. I can also click on this and change the font size to 14 to make it easily readable. Click on this and change it to 14 to make it easily readable as well. I could also click on this. Let's shift this. So I could also go to font size once again. Click on that. Make it into size 14. With this, we could also stretch them, which means I click on that handle, I stretch it. I click on this handle, I stretch it. I click on this handle, I stretch it. But you see, it's hitting the edges that I wouldn't want it to hit. I would want it to be more compacted than this. So I can click on the phone number once again. We go into spacing. Now there's so many beautiful options, tools so you can use to manipulate your designs, totally transform your designs in Canva. So let's make the letter spacing. You could see there are 2 options here, the letter spacing and the line spacing. Let's make the letter spacing 0, and it could also go in the negatives. Then let's also make this 0. Let's also make this 0. So no letter spacing at all. With that said, we could also increase each of these other items, the size, the font size. So you could go to font size once again. We could decide to make it 15. just to make it bolder and more readable. Now you have a beautiful design here. You could go into this right up and say packages includes 7 nights, stay in 4-star hotel, daily breakfast and all of that. Yeah, pick up and drop off at the airport. Yeah, so we have a great design. Every aspect of this design is totally editable. You could also click in on this and decide, okay, I want to delete this. If this was bookmarked, which it is not, you could actually delete that. You could actually replace it. When you click on the replace button, you click and look for options. Now, apart from photos, I want to show you that within this elements, you could click on plus sign. You cancel out buttons. You click on elements right here, elements. You could let's click out on dots. We could search for circle. When you search for circle, you could find various types of circles, including these. I want to point this out to you. You could see this kind of circle. You could see this, which are totally editable. You could transform them in any way you want to. You could see more options. You could search for square. You could search for whatever it is, and you see beautiful options. And I'm sure that you can see that there are different options here. You could see the pro versions for those who are paid users, and you could see the free version for those who are non-paid users. There are lots of resources in Canva. Just search from your imagination and you can see lots of options that are just so beautiful you could make use of in your designs. So if that was a paid item or a paid element, you could still change it and replace it entirely. Let's try to export our design by clicking on export and download. And right now you can see that there is no more paid request on our download button. Click on download to have your design downloaded into your photos, into your files. Here you can see this. You can also see this. You could download into your file manager. You could download into your photos. You could send into your WhatsApp. You could send into different apps that you want to. So let's click on our file manager to send it to our file manager. We click on this main storage and you could choose a folder. Let's decide to choose the Bluetooth folder and save. So let's delete this. This is our new design. Let's rename this to tourist design for vacation seekers. Okay, so you have your beautiful design right here, free of charge. You could take your time, do more justice to this design, align the buttons differently, transform every single aspect of it the way you choose. I myself can go back here and back into my design and change whatever else I want to change. Now I want you to note that when we came back from our export, you see that this design has just given you back from the start the design you had. Let's click on home, which is here. You need not be afraid when this happens. Let's click on home. Now, in your recent designs, I want you to note that you have two different designs showing up. You have this and you have this. What has happened is that Canva decided to take your photo, which you did not save earlier which is this, and get it saved for you automatically. Whereas because you had the other design you have been working on opened and did not close while you exported, it went and saved it here for you. This is the wrong one, is like an unedited file, but this is the right one, which is an edited file. Now let's go into your edited file and see what the autosave which Canva gave us looks like. I want to click on my button. I want to take it to I want to nudge it a little bit to the right, and when I'm satisfied, I could click on the label of the button and also adjust it to this flash. So the flash of figures that shows me if it's perfectly aligned or not shows up. I could also click on the button once again, any aspect, and change up any aspects I want to change up. We want to make this an actual destination. You can make it Obunike Cave. This is one of the nice tourist centers in my state, Anambra State. Obunike Cave. We could make this one Takwa Bay Center. Takwa Bay. You could go to Takwa Bay Center, and well, let's also make this Ogudu Cattle Ranch. Yeah, Ogudu Cattle Ranch. Let's say we just have these centers to visit, but then you see it's not well placed, so we click on it and we go to nudge and nudge it till we see the dotted flash lines showing that it's well centered. Okay, we could click on this and also adjust it till we see the flash lines that indicate that it is well centered. Okay, we could also, well, you could just adjust it to whatever makes you happy. Obunike Cave, Takwa Bay Center, Ogudu. Okay, let's even make this Canoe Fishing Festival because of this image right here above it. So let's say this is Canoe Fishing, yeah, festival. Yeah, so then let's make this instead of Takwa Bay Center. Okay, Takwa Bay Center is cool. I think that's perfect. Okay, Ogudu Cave, Ogudu Cattle, Obunike Cave, Takwa Bay Center, and Canoe Fishing Festival. Okay, so these are your outing days, these are your outing, and this is your Exploring Nigeria flyer. So let's change the phone number. Yep, we can make this +234 811 344 1514, and you could decide to make the spacing minus a negative. You could decide to make it -20 and it still fits perfectly. You could also decide to adjust these. You could click on the nudge tool and nudge this a little bit to the right. The peak line shows the peak centered line shows it's perfectly centered. Let's click on the icon and also nudge that to the right. Okay, you could stop when you're satisfied. Let's see. Okay, You could also click on that and decide to shrink the spacing by clicking on the spacing and making it -20 as well. So in place of hello at really great site, I say admin at frambok.com. That's great. So I could also decide to adjust this towards my right, make it better centered, and I could just go in with my flash lines and just get the best position for this. Okay, till I find my perfectly centered spot. Then I could also pick the icon. I could pick the icon and adjust it till it's perfect. So I guess we're good to go. I can change this now to from the current website to Frambok. So I could make this from www.frambok.com, and I could also take it to my right, adjust it to my right, and click on the next. Okay, how do I do this? I could just go on to position. I want to click the icon. I want to click the icon here, but it seems when I'm clicking it, it's rather not getting to it. It's clicking on the admin@frambok.com before it. So I could just go there and click position and take that already highlighted one backwards. Yeah, I could take it forward a little bit. Okay, so when I click on the icon, when I try to click on the icon now, oh sorry, I just have to just a moment. I have to increase this to an extent so I can see it clearly. When I try to click on the icon now, it gets to the icon and doesn't click on the admin@frambok.com. So I could click on my nudge tool and also nudge this till I'm satisfied with it. Okay, so this is perfect right now. So I can now click on home to save. I could come back in here and click on export once again, click on download once again, download, click on your file manager, choose a file to save it in. Let's go to the Bluetooth file. Let's save here once again, and I want to click on this, rename this, rather copy this name, and so delete this, click on this, rename this, highlight this, and shift this over so it doesn't go and change my file extension. Then I click OK to save. So here you have a perfect design of yours, well aligned, well made, and you could create beautiful designs like this. Thank you for watching.